Well, welcome everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the New Code Facebook show. I'm super excited to be with you today. And I am inspired. I'm really inspired. Are you guys feeling the energy just rising and peaking? I'm really, just back from Tulum, Mexico, where I was with my clients in a business mastermind. And I always love when we get together because we do so many incredible things. And one of the things we do is I always lead what I call a sales stretch, which is to create as much money as possible in a really short amount of time and to take all of the energy that we activated and the breakthroughs that each of them are having in that space to land new clients, to land new business deals, to sell their products. And it was so awesome to do it in Tulum. And I want to share some of the takeaways. In the end, my clients created over $53,000 in sales in 7 hours, one day, and they're still creating money. So that momentum created this incredible forward, like it's a rubber band. You pull the rubber band back, and you're feeling resistance and limitations, and then let go of that rubber band, and spring, what happens is, spring, manifestation of wealth happens because you release whatever tension you were holding inside of you that was the thing that was actually standing in your way, the limit that was stopping you from creating the wealth that you want to create. And so I got to do that in such an incredible way with them. They got to have such an incredible experience that I want to pour into each of you to share with you what worked, what we did, so you can do the same thing. And ultimately, for what this is about, I know for you is you care about your purpose. There's a calling in your heart. That's why it matters. It's not just about the money. Making money is awesome and it's great, but it's not about the money. It's about you making a difference in the world and you showing up in the way that you know that you can and you deeply desire to. And if you could just break through those limits that are blocking you, stopping you from that next level of wealth. And this is for everyone. Know that, in this mastermind that I run called the New Code, there are people there who, already have $500,000 businesses, multiple six figures, and they were ready to break through their next level of wealth creation. So it was really wild when we were driving into Tulum. There was a sign and it said, "You are your only limit." Have you ever heard that before? I know I've heard it. And when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. And the reason I felt that was because I heard it in a new way. Tulum, the intention of Tulum was that Tulum was a space, a location in order to meet with my soul, in order for each of my clients to meet with their soul. Your soul doesn't just come to you because you want it, right? I want to live my soul purpose. Like, come on already, I want it. Like, give me the book of my purpose now and show me the path, right? It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Instead, you must go to your soul and you must become willing to surrender whatever is standing in the way. We call it the gap, right? Between where you are right now and where you want to be in order to meet with your soul and rise up to the level of purpose and service that your soul is calling you to do. And so that's what Tulum really represented. And that was the transformation that was possible in Tulum. And no matter where you are right now, you don't need to be in Tulum to have this work for you. As soon as, and this is what I want you all to get, as soon as you set a declaration, I want to make $10,000 today. I want to make $100,000 this week. I want to create a six-figure business. Immediately, the limit that is already existing with you, we'll just call it coexisting with you, cohabitating with you, is going to show up. And things will get a little tense, maybe a little conflictual inside of you. Maybe outside of you, there's a challenge that you immediately must face. That is your soul giving you a gift, a present, the most wonderful, amazing Christmas present ever, which is showing you where you are currently the limit. So let's come back to that sign on the side of the road going to Tulum. You are your only limit. So it's not that you can't have the money that you want or live the purpose you want. It's that you right now are creating a limitation that is stopping you from having it. So what you want to realize, right? So first of all, are you setting intentions for wealth creation? If you're not doing that, then you're not even in the game. You're just not. You're toying around, you're playing, you're keeping yourself so minuscule that you can't be effectual, you can't have an impact, and you're not allowing yourself to put wealth and money on your team. You know, I shared this with a colleague last night that I was speaking with, and you know, I was saying to her, who is it you get to be? She has a certain intention. She's working on a goal she's creating to create $13,000. And I said, well, who do you get to be to create that $13,000? And she expressed all these really beautiful things about herself, but she didn't say abundant. And then I said to her, what about you get to be abundant? And so I put that in front of you as first and foremost, because if you're not willing to claim abundance as a way of being for yourself or an intention, then you've got some work to do there before the rest of what I'm about to share will work for you. You know, you knowing and claiming your wealth is step one. After that, you can set an intention that's believable. See, if you're not claiming your abundance or saying, I get to be wealthy, I get to be abundant, and I get to discover how to show up and be wealth, then, you know, setting a goal is just like a hope and a prayer without any real stake in the sand. You're not putting a stake in the sand around it. But if you are there, and I hope you are, if you're listening to this, you're like, yes, Karina, I get to be wealthy. I get to know abundance. I get to be so wealthy that I get to give away wealth. I get to serve in such a massive way. I get to be this big expression of my wealth and of my abundance so that others too can be abundant, so that others too can be a light unto the world. If you're there, set a goal right now. What's your intention to create? Start with today. Let's keep it tight. What's your intention to create today when it comes to money? What's a goal that you have today? And all right, with that, now set it, let's like put it in the comments. What's your intention? After you do that, notice what comes up for you. An emotion, most likely. Maybe you're excited, which is awesome, and afraid, perfect as well. So notice that, because whatever that emotion is showing you immediately where a limit is cohabitating inside your space, inside your thoughts, inside your heart. The breakthrough will come, and this is what I supported my clients in doing. I honest to God wish we had videotaped it, because it was the most amazing experience to watch one by one, like a domino effect, as each of them broke through the limit, and then someone next to them would create a sale, right? Because when you create a breakthrough in your wealth, someone else gets to have a breakthrough. And that can be the very reason to do it. So as soon as that emotion comes in, let's say it's fear, doubt, lack of confidence, right? Know that it's a lie, okay? It's an illusion, it's a lie, it's not real. Your job now is to find inside that emotion, okay? I call it like tunneling through. You're gonna go all the way in, and you don't wanna go halfway in, you gotta go all the way in and get to the other side. Transformation is a vortex energy where you actually go all the way through the vortex. You go all the way through the vortex and you come out the other side, you're the butterfly, you're transformed, you're in a new way of being, and you've created wealth. So to go inside, let's say it's a fear comes up about being visible. That's just what I got, okay? Fear comes up about, okay, being visible. So you ask yourself, all right, what am I actually afraid of? And you go to the worst. You just go to the worst of the worst, like, what's the worst thing that can happen if I get visible, right? And emotionally, don't bottle any of this. You want to get empty with the emotion. That's ultimately where we're going, is keep going until the emotion just starts, as you tunnel through, the layers of the onion start coming off. Okay, I'm afraid if I get visible, I'll be attacked. Okay, what would that mean? Keep going until you hit something in the heart space. All right, not here, but you hit something in the heart space. And a really strong emotion comes up where you start to cry, or you get angry, and you get so angry that you just kind of pop, all right? That means you're releasing it. Whatever you get to do, some tips that I gave my clients, you can journal it out, you can scream it out, you can work side by side with a powerful coach like myself to support you in like breaking through that ground and finding like where it's lodged in you. One of my clients, she might be watching right now, you know, she was so tense in the breakthrough that the music around us just kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder until the saxophone player actually came and played the saxophone next to her while I was supporting her in breaking through what was holding her back. And then she just burst. And then this energy opened up around her. And then everything started to sing around her. So notice it, like you want to get to that place where you are willing to surrender and burst and let the power of that emotion that's locked in you become creation energy. Because that's actually what will happen. When you release it and no longer hold it onto you as your story and my thing or whatever you make up about that, and release it back into the fullness of who you are, really into infinity, then you can use that energy to create. Then it will serve your money, your bank account, it will serve your mission, your purpose. After you've reached that, you're gonna be in a whole new way of being. And then showing up to make enrollment calls, reaching out to potential clients, reaching out to friends maybe that you know you could serve and support, reaching out to someone who you talked to a year ago and saying, hey, I just thought of you, and you know, would love to get on the phone and see if you're still interested in blank, 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 whatever it is that you last talked about and the breakthrough and the service that you bring into the world. See, all those things, like taking action like that, won't be scary or feel like effort when you have allowed yourself to surrender and empty out and break through. So I've said this for a long time now, you know, based on my own experience, which is, you know, you get to do 10% of the work and God will do the rest. So 10% is you, which is what I just explained to you, this whole process of going in and getting clear. What's the emotion that's triggering you? Any given moment, you're either triggered or activated. That's it. Triggered or activated. If you're triggered, it's an opportunity to expand. It's an opportunity to get activated. And you are in charge of that. That's your 10%. The other 90% will be the universal force. It'll be the I am. It will be source moving, working through you in order to align that intention that you set up, which is where, you know, what I call miracles really are everyday, ordinary miracles, because we're designed for this. We're designed to actually create wealth. You are designed for wealth. You're designed for this. There's nothing about you that isn't in perfection to wealth. And you have this power inside of you to transform yourself at any given moment and pop it open and become unified with the universal abundance that's all around you. All right, so I'd love to hear what your goals are for the week, what are your intentions, and what comes up for you. Journal it out, call someone that can help you work through it, process it until you break open. You know, the soul presses upon your life, you know, and that's what was happening in Tulum with my community. It was this pressing and this pressing and this pressing until there was a pop. The soul creates that pressure because it's moving into your body, and that high frequency of light can create a quantum shift into wealth if you allow it. If you allow it to, it will. But it won't if you're holding back in the space of I don't want to go there, or you're in resistance, or you refuse to get support, or any other ways that resistance can sneakily show up where you're trying to do it on your own. It just doesn't work that way. All right, you guys. Can't wait to see what breakthroughs you create today. Share what you created, share what your intention is, and come back at the end of the day and let me know. I want to know. Let me know how this process works for you. Did it land? Did you create new wealth today? And what did you discover? What did you discover about your limit and how you broke through it? All right, you guys, I love you and can't wait to see what you create today.